All right, today we're going to look at mostly review, just factoring, and then solving, factoring, then solving. All right, so hopefully most of it's review for you. All right, factor, let's go ahead and factor this. 8x squared plus 14x. 8x squared plus, so it says to factor. Notice, are there any equal signs in this? No, so it's not an equation. This is just factoring. Okay, just put it into factors. Okay, so what do we see? What do we do? Looks like there's a greatest common factor. There's two terms separated by a plus. There's two terms. If they have some common factor to them, we'll pull that out. So what is our greatest common factor? 2x. There we go. So we can factor out a 2 and then an x. Let's go ahead and put back in, kind of like our distributive property backwards. So what do we have to put back to patch it up? So 4 and an x, and then what? Plus 7. There it is. It's factored. Okay, we don't have to go any farther and solve. There's no equation. Okay, there we go. Is there a way to check this? How do you do that? Just distribute back and see if it's the same. Hopefully we distribute right. Okay, so GCF. Okay, number 2, if we have x times x plus 7, and same thing with factoring, minus 2 times x plus 7. So we want to factor. Well, any ideas on how we're going to factor this? Okay, we could distribute like x squared plus 7x minus 2x minus 14. Absolutely, we can. Any other ideas? How many terms do we see here? Big overall terms. 2, separated by a plus or minus. We have this term and this term. Do we see something that's common between these two terms? We see an x plus 7. This problem is almost like this problem right here. We can take out a GCF. So let's go ahead and factor out x plus 7. All right, so x plus 7 is common to both, right? So take out an x plus 7. Okay, put in parentheses there. And then let's go ahead and patch back exactly what we did up there, what we have left. So what do we have here? There we go. An x for that one minus, what's minus 2. There we go. It's factored. Should we FOIL this? Or are we done? Is this completely factored? No. This is factored. It's in factors. This times this. Okay. If we multiply, I think of just, if we FOIL this and multiply, I think of multiplying as going forwards. No, we want to go backwards. This is in factored form. Okay. Just incidentally, Amadou had a good idea. Let's distribute this and then see what happens. You don't have to write this if you don't want. I could do this real quick. Distribute this, we get x squared plus 7x minus 2x minus 14. Check my work there. 7 minus 2, so x squared plus 5x minus 14. Perfect. And okay, we want to fast, so do this. X times x. What times what's 14? 7 times 2. Okay, 7 times 2. We need a positive 5. So outside is 2x, inside 7x. How do we get the positive 5? Plus 7x minus 2x. And wow, look at that. So same thing. Okay. If you do things right mathematically, it's okay. It's just different ways to do it. GCF would be the quickest, for sure. Right? But as long as you don't do anything wrong mathematically, you're okay. Okay. Number 3. Just the basics of the way I factor. 6x squared minus 11x minus 2. Okay, we want to factor. Are there any GCFs to all 3 terms? No. Okay, so let's attempt to do our guess and check, our factor. Okay, so we know the FOIL, first, outside, inside, last. And so the first, we don't really have to worry about a whole lot, and the last we don't have to worry about a whole lot. But the combination of the outside, inside, we have to somehow come up with negative 11. So what times what is 6x squared? 6 times 1 could be 3 times 2, could be 2 times 3. Yeah, 6 1. Okay, yeah, let's take a guess. It is a kind of a guessing game. What do you want to try? We see an 11 there. So I would personally just try 6x and 1x. I kind of wrote it a little lightly because it might not be. But let's go to this last term. What times what is 2? 2 times 1 or 1 times 2, right? So if we're not in a thinking mode, we could just write some things that multiply to 2. We could go 2 times 1, right? But then my method is, well, the outside and the FOIL and the inside, outside, inside, we need to come up with 11. So outside, what do you get? 6x. Inside, 2x. Okay, 6x, 2x, combination. Can we get 11 out of that? No. Okay, so, well, hey, let's try this. A 1 and a 2. Okay, outside is, oh, this looks like it's good, isn't it? So outside is 12x, inside is 1x, right? Can we get an 11 or negative 11? Sure. And again, some of you guys are going, okay, let me cross my fingers and just maybe put a minus there and a plus there, or we just don't know what we're doing. But it's outside, inside to get our signs, whether it's plus there or minus there or whatever. It's outside, inside. We need negative 11x. Outside is 12x, inside is 1x. Well, which one needs to be negative? Yeah, there you go. So negative 12x, right, outside. So negative 12x plus 1x is negative 11x. Let's double check, make sure that we multiply the L, the last, negative 2, and we're good. Okay, so that's my method to factoring. If you do it a different method, as long as you do it correctly, that's fine. But eventually, if you do it this way, you know, it's all kind of the same. You just need a combination to get you the, you know, the middle term there. Okay, number 4. Continue factoring here. 2x squared minus 98. We want to factor. What do we do? What do we do? Is there a GCF of, what is our GCF? 2. That's even for sure. Take out a 2, you're left with x squared minus some number. 49. There you go. Okay, we took out a GCF. Are we done? No. Can we factor this further? Yes. There you go. This is a difference of 2 perfect squares. So we put our 2 parentheses. X times x is x squared. And we could do this just like we did up here, outside inside thing. What times what's 49? 7 times 7. And then we need to have 0 x's in the middle. Well, let's make one of them plus and one of them minus. Right, so it's negative, outside, inside, negative 7x plus 7x is 0 x's, and then negative 49. Here we go. Okay, completely factored. Let's see. Okay, solve by factoring. So solve by factoring. Okay, solve by factoring. Okay, number 5. If we have 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 is equal to 0. So we want to solve this by factoring. Although, do we have to solve by factoring? There's other ways. There's other ways. Could we literally just try to guess some answers? We could. Okay. I could try, okay, x is 1 and see if it works. No. X is 2, see if it works. Is that a not very good way to do it? That would take you, what, a long time, and you probably, especially if it's going to be a fraction answer, that'd be pretty tough. So the easiest way is see if it factors. So let's try to factor this thing. No GCFs. Let's try to factor it. Notice this is an equation. There's an equal sign. Equation. If it's an equation, we can get some answers. Like x equals 2 or x equals whatever. Okay, so let's try to factor this. Well, what do you want to try with 6x squared? 3x, 2x, 6x, 1x, 6x, 1x. I'm going to just from, we use 6 and 1 to get, I'm going to guess, I'm going to guess 3x and 2x. That's my guess. 3x and 2x to get 6x. I could be wrong. I'll just take my eraser and erase it. Okay, so the first, that's 6x squared. Okay, what times what is 10? 2 and 5. Okay, so should I put 2 there, 5 there, or does it matter? It matters. Okay, so what do you want to try? 2 right here? 5 right here? Okay, let's try it. Outside, inside, that's my method. So outside 2, what do we get? 15x. Oh, look at that. Inside 2 is 4x. Good. 15x, 4x. Can we come up with negative 11x? Absolutely. How are we going to get this negative 11x? It's got to be negative 15 for the outside. Negative 15x plus 4x. Check the last. That's negative 10. Perfect. Okay, but we haven't solved it yet. We haven't solved it yet. This is the easiest way, I believe. So what do we do from here? Good. We set them both equal to 0. Why do we set it equal to 0? Because we're supposed to. Our teacher last year said that just set it equal to 0. True. Well, why though? Just because? No. Well, if we kind of understand, if it's equal to 0, that's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful that we have it set equal to 0. Why is it powerful? Because anything times 0 is what? 0. Let me ask that again. Anything times 0 is 0. So doesn't it make sense if I take this, and if this thing right there was 0, this whole thing right there was 0, I don't care what this is. This could be 27. What's 0 times 27? 0. It's a solution. If I take this and I said, hey, if this was 0, 0 times, I don't care what this is, 10 billion and 42, but 0 times whatever is 0. So there's 0 is real powerful. It makes it easy. It makes it easy. So that's why we set it equal to 0, because I want this to be 0, because I don't care what that is. 0 times anything is 0. So we do this. That's exactly what you do. 3x plus 2, we force that equal to 0 and see what makes it 0. And that's going to be an answer for us. Okay, and then we take this 2x minus 5. We force that equal to 0. And then we solve the little algebra. And that gives us our answers. Okay, so we subtract 2, minus 2, minus 2. 3x equals negative 2. I'm running out of space. But divide by 3, and so x equals negative 2 over 3, negative 2/3. And add the 5 over there. 2x equals positive 5. Divide by 2, x equals 5 over 2, 2.5, 5 halves. There we go. Is there any way to check this? Sure, take your 5 halves, square it, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do that, but you could trust that we got it right. And there we go. Okay. If you had to guess and check this, or just to sit there and figure it out, would take you a couple hours. But there you go. Okay, solving by factoring. Okay, let's look at a few more here. Okay, turn this over. Okay, number 6. Okay, 4x plus 3 times 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 3. So are we going to solve this? Yes, because there's a equal sign. It's an equation. We can solve equations. Okay, so how do we, wait a second, it says negative 3 on that side. Negative 3. What do we do? Okay, add it to the other side, because we want it equal to 0, right? If we didn't, well, okay, so if we add that, but why can't I just say this, set this equal to 0? Solve it and set that equal to 0 and solve it. Why can't I do that? Exactly, because it's not equal to 0. If we did that, just look what would happen. If we set this equal to 0, I know we could all do that, and we add 1, divide by 2. X is 1/2, isn't it? X equals 1/2. Well, if I think x is 1/2 is an answer, and I went back to check it, plug in 1/2, I get 0 times whatever that is. What's 0 times something? 0. Do you think if I plug that in and get 0 times that, I'm going to get negative 3? No. No. So we can't just set that equal to 0. We don't have the power of 0 there. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, the way to solve this, we got to move this 3 over, add the 3 to this side, but we've got to FOIL this out. So let's go and FOIL that, and then we'll move that over. Okay, so 8x squared, first outside, inside, last. 8x squared. Outside is minus 4x. Inside is plus 6x. Minus 4x plus 6x is what? Plus 2x. If you want to write it down, you can write it down. I just kind of do that outside, inside in my head. Minus 4x plus 6x is positive 2x. Minus 3 equals negative 3. Well, it's kind of nice. We want this equal to 0, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I'm not adding 3 to move that. I actually want it to 0, so I'm going to add 3 there and add 3 there. Incidentally, that's gone as well, which is great. Okay, so we have 8x squared plus 2x, that's 0, equals 0. There we go. Okay, we're going to solve by factoring. What do we do? There, okay. There's no number there. We can't do these, two parentheses thing. It's not a trinomial, but we can always do what? GCF. GCF. I don't care what you have. GCF. GCF. Okay, so we could take out a 2 and a x. There we go. And you're left with 4x plus 1. Okay, distribute it back. You'll get that. Equals 0. Here we go. Now what? We got this nice 0 over there. Set each factor. This is a factor. That's a factor. Equal to 0. Perfect. 2x equals 0. And 4x plus 1 equals 0. Well, there we go. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So x equals, what's 0 over 2?
0.
It is 0. There's 0 halves. We don't have any halves. It's 0. Perfect. X equals, subtract 1, divide by 4. So 4x equals negative 1. So x equals negative 1/4. And there you go. Okay, so you have to have it equal to 0 first. Kiana, question?
Can you explain how you got the 2x and you wrote the equation 8x squared plus 2x?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so if I FOIL this, I get 8x squared. Outside I get minus 4x, right? And the inside I get plus 6x, there you go, 6x, and then minus 3. Good. Glad you asked that. Okay, and then like terms and you're good. Okay, number 7. X cubed minus 16x equals 0. We're going to solve. x cubed minus 16x equals 0. How many solutions are we? How many answers are we going to get? How many answers are we going to get? 2, 2, 1, infinite, 2. Let's go with 2. Let's look back 3. Let's look back at this one. How many answers did we get? How many answers did we get? 2 of them, right? Okay, we got an x squared, don't we? X squared, 2. Let's see. Did we do another solve? Okay. How many answers did we get for this one? We got 2. If the degree, what's the degree? It's the highest exponent that you have. If whatever your degree is, that's how many answers you have. If it's x squared, there's 2 answers. If the degree is, actually, if the degree is 1, if you had x plus 7 is equal to 10, what's the degree of this equation? What's the highest exponent power we have? What's the highest exponent power we have? Okay, it's 1. So how many answers do we have? We have 1, right? Degree is 1, you have 1. X equals 3, that's it. If you have a squared, you have 2. So how many answers are we going to have? 3. Highest exponent. Okay, so how are we going to get these 3 answers? Factor a GCF of x. Okay, what do we have left? There we go. Minus 16 equals 0. There we go. And then x, keep that, just keep that there. And this factors, right? Isn't this a difference of 2 squares?
Yeah.
So what does that end up being? There we go, x plus 4, x minus 4. Nice. How many factors do we have? How many things are being multiplied? 3. 1, 2, 3. Set each factor equal to 0. Okay, so we take this x, which is just x, set that equal to 0. We got that answer. We take this, x plus 4 equals 0. We'll get that answer. We take this one, x minus 4, we get that answer. Equals 0, we get that answer. Okay, so x equals 0, nothing to solve. We got it. X equals negative 4, we got that. X equals 4, we got that. There we go. Okay, last one on your own, and then I'll have someone show us how to do it. Okay, 3x squared plus 11x plus 6, or 8. Actually, I went out of order on mine, so it's just I can count. I'm a math teacher, but I can't keep track. No, okay. Equals 0. Okay, so number 8. All right, so go to it, solve it, and I'll call on someone. Random John. Okay, so factor. We can all factor. We can all factor. It's just a matter of how long it'll take you. Factor and solve. You have different answers. Why? Okay. Well, okay, so we're at this you're just dividing. This we have one axis was -3. That's it. Next week it's just -3. You don't divide, that's okay, so is that it? How much you want to bet?
I don't know, but I bet.
$5 million?
The respect.
I
want the respect.
Good, because I didn't have $5 million. Okay, here's my random. No, I'm going to do this. Hang on, let's see. Sonny, pick A or B. Just A or B. Just A, okay, that's that side. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7, okay. Here, I just wrote this down. 7. So 14 minus 3 is 11. Okay, so the 11th person's going to actually come up here and do the problem. Should it be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Ethan, come on down. Even if you got to start it? Okay. And we can help Ethan out if he hasn't. He can just write for us if he's not sure what he's doing. Okay. And don't forget to put equals 0. Because, yeah, a lot of students forget that. Okay, so did he factor that correctly?
Yes, he did.
The outside is 9x, inside's 2. Good. Very nice, very nice. Nice. Nicely done. There we go. How many of us got that? Awesome. Good. You can have it. Good. Grace under pressure. There we go. Okay, good. So we can all factor. Just a matter of coming up with a combination. Once you have it factored, set each to 0. It's got to be equal to 0 first. Set each to 0, and do the little algebra that it takes to finish it off. Okay, so you're either factoring by solving. Got it? Good. Ready for the quiz tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes. So we got to kind of review your absolute values, piecewise functions. I think it was the first lesson. Review that as well. Writing what the equations are. Okay, so kind of go over that. But your assignment is just half. I think it goes up to, double check here. I think it's just the front. Okay, so it's numbers 1 through 24. And this is on 2-4. Okay, so it's just the front side. Just the front side. Okay, and that's your wrap.